Let me be brutally honest for a second. If your iPhone photos keep turning out blurry, flat, or just off, it's not the phone. It's a few tiny mistakes almost every beginner makes without even realizing it, and they're ruining your shots. The good news is once you fix them, your photos instantly look 10 times better. And before we go any further, let me make something very clear. This video is not for iPhone tech bros or pixel peepers. If you're here to compare sensor sizes, pixel pitch, dynamic range charts, or argue about whether Apple over sharpens, you might want to click on another video, and that's totally okay. No hard feelings, your time is so precious. This video, however, is for people with messy camera rolls who want photos that feel like they're real life. For people who want to learn fast without the tech jargon, for people who love soft emotional aesthetics and want to actually document their days, not overanalyze them. It's for the shy creatives, the moms, the artists, the beginners, the people building something from their life, and the ones who finally want to feel seen through their own photos. If that's you, you're in the right place. Let's fix your photos together. Hi, I'm Rose, a mom, photographer, and creative entrepreneur who literally built her whole teaching journey from a tiny corner of our bedroom. Over the years, I've helped thousands of students learn how to take beautiful photos without needing fancy gear or tech skills. And today, I want to share the 5 beginner mistakes that quietly hold your photos back. Plus, the simple fixes that instantly make your shots look clearer, softer, brighter, and way more emotional. These are the things I wish someone told me when I was starting with iPhone photography, long before I became an educator, long before thousands of students. These were the mistakes that changed everything for me, and I know they will help you too. You've probably heard this a million times. Tap to focus, adjust your exposure. And there's a reason for that. Your iPhone is powerful, but it doesn't know what's important in your frame unless you tell it. If you skip this step, it might focus on the wrong subject or misjudge the lighting, leaving your photo too dark or washed out. So here's a quick but pro-level fix. Tap on your subject to lock focus, then slide up or down to adjust brightness. This tiny gesture can instantly make your photo sharper, clearer, and more vibrant. I know what you're thinking. I spent $1,000 on this phone so I could just point and shoot, and now I have to manually adjust everything. The truth is, yes, even the most expensive camera won't give you stunning results if you're not being intentional. But that's not a burden. It's an opportunity. Every time you take that extra second to adjust focus and exposure, you're stepping into the role of a real photographer. You're not just snapping a picture, you're capturing a memory with care. So instead of thinking, oh, one more step, try thinking, this is me being intentional. This is me creating something meaningful. And when you look back at that photo, whether it's a few days later on your feed or 10 years from now in an album, you'll be glad you did. You'll see that image and think, I am so glad I paused. I am so glad I cared. This moment was worth it. I know. Sometimes you're on the go, maybe traveling, hanging out at the mall with your family, or enjoying dinner with your bestie. You might be thinking, how can I possibly control the lighting? That's where your inner photographer comes in. When you want to create beautiful photos with your iPhone, this very expensive smartphone you're holding, then my friend, you must become a seeker of light. Because light is either photography's best friend or its worst enemy. Shooting in harsh midday sun or in dim lighting without intention, that's a recipe for flat, grainy, and flattering photos. So how do we fix this? There are simple, practical ways to use light to your advantage. Position your subject where soft, natural light hits gently. The best times for this are early morning or late afternoon, aka golden hour, when the sun gives everything a warm, dreamy glow. But what if you can't shoot during golden hour? Find some shade. For example, in this photo, we were checking out of our hotel at noon. There's no time for golden hour magic, but we shot under a big tree, and it worked. The shade softened the light, avoided raccoon eyes, and even added beautiful texture to the photo. Next is overcast skies. That's your secret weapon. Clouds act like a giant softbox, diffusing the sunlight and giving you soft, flattering light all day. So, the next time it's cloudy, grab your phone and start shooting. It's one of the best times for portraits, nature shots, or anything with emotion. Now, if you want to add dimension, try side lighting. If the sun is your light source, place your subject so the light hits them from the side, not directly in front or behind. This creates depth, texture, and that lovely 3D effect. Now, what if it's too dark? You can use night mode. Your iPhone is actually really good at low light when you use night mode correctly. And if needed, go ahead and experiment with the flash. Flash photography is making a comeback, and with the right composition, it can look bold and intentional. The bottom line is that bad lighting ruins good photos. But if you learn to work with the light, even if you don't control it, you'll create magic. Next time something feels off in your photo, stop and ask, is it the light? If yes, try again. Change locations, adjust angles, tilt your phone, reposition your subject. Light is your greatest tool. Use it with purpose, and your photos will thank you for it. When you skip composition, your subject can end up looking like it's just floating in the frame, disconnected, awkward, or like a random snapshot instead of something meaningful. Now, I get it. Do you really need to think about composition every single time you take a photo? I saw this one comment on TikTok under a photography tip video that said, why go through the hassle of following the rule of thirds or flipping your phone upside down when you're just taking a picture of something? And honestly, that comment makes sense. If you're only taking photos as reminders, like snapping a picture of a lamp at your friend's house so you can find it later at the mall, that's practical and totally fine. But what about everything else? Your loved ones, your art, your quiet mornings, the moments that make up your actual life. Aren't those worth capturing in a way that does them justice? Here's the thing. When you learn even just a bit of composition, something shifts. You start seeing beauty in the ordinary. You notice shapes, symmetry, light, and balance. You start to realize that maybe your life isn't boring at all. It's full of little moments worth remembering. That's the magic of composition. It turns your iPhone into more than a camera. It becomes your visual journal, your storytelling tool, your romanticizing life buddy. So, how do you fix the no composition mistake? Start with a simple step. Turn on your grid lines. A lot of people think the grid lines are just a weird visual distraction, but actually, they're there to help you compose better shots. Use the grid to guide your framing. The most common method is the rule of thirds, where you place your subject along one of the grid lines or at the points where the lines intersect. This creates balance, interest, and intentionality. But that's not the only option. You can also center your subject for strong minimalist compositions. Use natural frames like windows, mirrors, and doorways to draw attention. Level your horizons to avoid tilted or off-balance shots. Lead your viewer's eye through lines and shapes in the frame. The more you pay attention and experiment with a grid, the more intuitive it becomes. One day, you'll take a photo, look at it, and think, wow, why didn't someone teach me this sooner? And from that moment on, there's no going back. You'll fall in love with how your photos look, and more importantly, how they feel. Some people avoid editing because they think unedited means more authentic. But here's the truth. Editing is part of the creative process. It's how you make a photo feel the way the moment felt. Don't believe me? Let me show you proof. This was just a simple afternoon walk. The light was perfect, golden hour, soft and dreamy. I took a few photos using my iPhone, and they were okay, but they didn't fully capture what that moment felt like to me. So I opened up Lightroom Mobile to be exact. It's a free app, and I love how intuitive it is. Even the most basic tweaks made a huge difference. I bumped up the exposure just a bit, warmed up the temperature to bring in that nostalgic glow, and softened the sharpness a little so it didn't feel overly crisp. because you know how iPhones love that extra sharp look, right? That's it. No crazy color grading, no filters, just intentional adjustments. Because sometimes all it takes is a little more light, a little warmth, a little softness, and suddenly your photo doesn't just look pretty. It feels like the memory you were trying to preserve. Editing isn't about faking the moment, it's about honoring it. So the next time you hesitate to edit, ask yourself, what did this moment feel like? And how can I help my photo tell that story? It's so easy to get caught up in every trick you see on TikTok or Instagram. Flip your phone this way, use panorama for tall buildings, switch to 0.5 for cool wide shots, zoom to 2x for cinematic vibes. But here's the thing, photography isn't about copying what everyone else is doing. It's not about chasing trends or what someone else says looks good. It's about capturing your view of the world. And maybe that's why those tutorials didn't feel right to you. Maybe you tried them and something felt off because it didn't feel like you. But that's the magic of photography. It's personal. It's your perspective, your way of seeing beauty in the everyday. And that's why I'm so glad you're here. From this moment forward, I hope something shifts, that you'll start taking photos that actually mean something to you, that you'll take photos for yourself before anyone else. And in doing that, you'll create something so real, others will feel it too. Because when you slow down, when you connect with your subject, whether it's your child playing, your morning coffee, your favorite meal, a sunset, your art, or even your messy, beautiful everyday, you create photos that carry emotion, that tell stories, that become timeless. So no, you don't need to try every viral trick. Start with your own taste, your own eye, your own story, because that's what makes your photos truly powerful. And that's it. 5 beginner mistakes that might be holding your photos back and how to fix them. Just remember, photography isn't about perfection. It's not about chasing trends, it's about expressing yourself and preserving the moments that truly matter to you. Kind of like writing. You create for yourself first, then share it with the world. So, let's do a little recap. Again, tap to focus and adjust exposure. Look for good light, compose with intention. Don't skip editing. And most importantly, stay present. When you start applying these, I promise, your photos will transform instantly. You'll start enjoying photography so much more. That's the real win. Now, if you're ready to take things even deeper, to actually understand your iPhone camera, explore your personal style, and finally take photos that feel like you, I created a full photography masterclass just for that. Inside the class, we'll dive into lighting, composition, storytelling, and I'll even take you behind the scenes on one of our golden hour family walks so you can see the entire process in action. And here's the best part. If it's your first time on Skillshare, you can watch the whole class with a 1-month free trial. Just check the link in the description. And if you're watching this around Black Friday, even better. Skillshare is offering 50% off annual memberships, which is their biggest deal of the year. So if you've been wanting to invest in your creativity, now is the perfect time. Again, everything you need is in the description. And if this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's just getting started. It truly helps support the channel. And remember, your memories deserve to be remembered beautifully. Go out there, capture them with love. Now, if you want some hacks on how to take family photos, especially with kids, without awkward posing, I also created a whole video just for that. It's full of must-try poses for adorable family photos. See you there.